What's going on, Delta Battle League viewers? My name is Mattherus from Diggletdreams, and today we are going over round 7 and round 8 of the Delta Battle League draft. We're just kind of recapping over what happened if you guys didn't get the chance to see it yet. And we're going to kind of like explain each Pokemon and why maybe the person picked it. I don't have exact reasons why people picked what they picked, but I can kind of explain my thoughts on each Pokemon as they come up. So round 7 started off with St. Louis Swellows picking Tentacruel. Tentacruel is a really crazy Pokemon. It is surprisingly fast with base 100 speed, as well as really great typing, honestly. Water, Poison, I think. Yeah, Quillfish is the only other thing that gets that typing, I think. And it's just great to have. It can Scald, obviously. You get Sludge Bomb for that poison chance. It can set up Toxic Spikes. And then, of course, with that base 100 speed, even if with a defensive set, it's usually going to be outspeeding most other defensive Pokemon. And some even, like, bulky Pokemon, which is pretty crazy. You can get, like, a Scald off on Pokemon that aren't speed invested, you know? So, pretty awesome pick out, if I have to say. Gonna have to watch out for Toxic Spikes whenever going up against the St. Louis Swellows. Vivipride picked Azelf in the second pick of round 7. Azelf is just a great Pokemon. It can be a good lead. It can set up Stealth Rocks, Explode, all that stuff. It can also be a mean offensive Pokemon. Life Orb, Choice Specs, Choice Scarf, all that stuff. I actually want to open up a team builder too while I'm here. Azelf. I just want to look at its stats while I'm here. Really solid offensive stats, honestly. Like, that's really like what Azelf is. 125, 125 attacks, and 115 speed is really, really, really good. The only problem is that its other stats is that don't stand up that well. It's not going to be taking that many hits, which is why I kind of fell into the lead slot, I guess. Cincinnati Umbreons picked Darmanitan in the third pick in round 7. Everybody knows about Darmanitan. Super fast. Well, not super fast. The Scarf set is super viable with extremely powerful Flare Blitz, Super Power Earthquake, and what's the fourth one? U-Turn. Yeah, U-Turn is what makes it really good. Super powerful offensive Pokemon. We're going to see if Cincinnati Umbreons ever try anything else, like maybe a Choice Band or maybe Life Orb, Sheer Force, Darmanitan, because those are definitely possible, but we all know about the Choice Scarf, and we're going to be watching out for that. Tampa Bay Duskulleers picked Keldeo as their 4th round of round 7. Keldeo is a super powerful Pokemon, the only OU Pokemon we've seen so far in round 7. So far, we're kind of getting into lower tier UU Pokemon here. And Keldeo was left over, and Tampa Bay Duskulleers did manage to scoop it up right here. Keldeo is a super awesome Pokemon. Water fighting typing is really good, really powerful. Does have offensive prowess with Hydro Pumps and Secret Swords, while also having Scald too. Super offensive and can also help defensively too. So super powerful Pokemon. Can run Subcalm Mind, Scarf, Choice Specs. I've even seen Life Orb, so definitely a nice, powerful offensive pick for the Tampa Bay Duskulleers. Golden State Wartortles then picked Empoleon. Lots of bulky water types so far. Empoleon is a great Pokemon. Its water steel typing is really good. Steel is just one of the best defensive types in the game. Water is also really good defensively. So the combination of the two is just pretty insane. But Empoleon got really much better this generation with access to Defog, and having that Water Steel typing means that it doesn't take that much damage from rocks, and makes it basically just a really good defogger, able to successfully defog pretty much anything away. Also immune to the Toxic Spikes because it's Steel type too, so like one of the best defoggers in the world. Those scissors pretty good too. Omaha Omastars then picked Escavalier, super powerful bug steel type, super powerful but also super slow and super weak to fire. So definitely a super powerful pick, dipping down into the RU tier for this round 7 pick. Definitely could run a nice Assault Vest, Choice Band. I can run like a Pursuit set, but notable moves would be like Iron Head, Mega Horn, Knock Off, Drill Run, maybe X Scissor if you don't want to miss. Definitely a powerful Pokemon. Rotom Fandom then picked Jirachi, another powerful Steel type. Finally scooping up an OU Pokemon down here, which is pretty great for them. Jirachi is just one of those Pokemon that could just be one of the most annoying things in the world, but also could not. Because if you guys do not know, Jirachi is actually really cool in that it has base 100 stats, and my headphones are falling apart, so I apologize. But let's just pull up Jirachi real quick. Jirachi. Jirachi does have all base 100 stats, which is really cool. Only a few Pokemon have this. Pokemon that are kind of like the fairy things, like Mew and I don't think Victini has it though. But Mew, Celebi, Jirachi. I think there's probably a couple others that I can't remember. Manaphy? Is Manaphy one of them? I think so. But the cool thing about this stat spread is that you can pretty much do anything. Like, you can be offensive, you can be fast, you can be defensive. There's lots of different options with Jirachi, and that's why it's so scary. You can run the Choice Scarf Iron Head set, and of course Serene Grace with Iron Head makes it very likely to flinch, which is one of the most evil things in the world. But it could also be defensive with Wish. It does have Healing Wish, all that kind of stuff. So Jirachi is just one of those very versatile Pokemon, not only in terms of move pool, but also in terms of stats. So hold on one second, I just need to fix these headphones. Okay, I swear I need to get some new headphones sometime soon. Okay, Chicago Cloysters in the 8th pick, around 7, decided to get Frostlass. Definitely a cool Pokemon, Ghost Ice typing. It was really, really cool typing. But this is just another good lead Pokemon, like dedicated lead, kind of like the Azelf set that you can run. Frostlass gets access to spikes, things like Destiny Bond. It is very fast. It can get off an Ice Beam, Shadow Ball, Taunt, all that kind of stuff. Of course, Ice typing, one of probably like the best offensive type in the game. Hits lots of those offensive Pokemon like dragons and ground types. Just a really great typing to have, and I think Chicago Cloysters picked a good lead for their team. Kansas City Nidokings picked Umbreon. Oh my god, I hate Umbreon. And if you've ever faced one in UU, you know what I'm talking about. Umbreon's just one of those Pokemon that can just, if it has the right setup against a team, it can just completely wall the entire team. And I hate it. Wish, Protect, Toxic, Heal Bell, Foul Play. It doesn't get knockoff, thankfully. What are the other things it does? Moonlight? Does it get Moonlight? I feel like it does. But yeah, the Wish, Protect stuff is just brutal. So we're going to move on. To my pick, Boston Buizels. We picked Heliolisk for our round 7 pick. We are building up on our rain team. We have Heliolisk gets Dry Skin, access to Thunder, so it's really powerful in the rain, but also a really powerful pick otherwise, because Heliolisk is also just really great with access to Hyper Voice and Volt Switch. Thunderbolt is all stab moves plus Surf coverage for those ground types that want to try to come in on the electric type move. Also immune to ghost type moves because of the normal typing, but just a great pick for me, I think, because I think every team needs an electric type and something that can switch in on electric types, and yeah, can also run a fast Choice Specs, Choice Scarf, Life Orb. So I'm really excited about Heliolisk. Can't wait. So Georgia Jigglypuffs picked Porygon 2, another one of those bulky, annoying Pokemon. Just access to Recover, Eviolite, Toxic, Protect. Well, probably they don't usually run Protect, but they do have like Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Tri-Attack if they want to do that. So just one of those Pokemon that is just not going to die unless you have Knockoff. So make sure to bring Knockoff when you're facing off against Georgia Jigglypuffs, because this Porygon 2 will put in work without it. And for the last pick of round 7, Hamilton Heracrosses picked Staraptor. Pretty solid pick because we're getting down to the lower rounds, and Staraptor's basically like an OU Pokemon. It is BL, so it's not OU by usage, but it is banned from UU, so that means it is too good to be UU. So it is better than most UU Pokemon, so it's still pretty good. Staraptor is really powerful. Reckless, Double Edge, Brave Bird both get boosted by that. U-turn access, close combat as well for coverage. Just to any of those rock steel types that want to come in on the normal flying type stab can just get wrecked by a close combat. So Staraptor, really powerful Pokemon. Can run Choice Band, Choice Scarf. It's usually what it runs. I don't know what else it would run. I guess it could run like a Life Orb, but like it's not that common. But who knows what Fancy Cross will break out for this Delta Battle League. We'll see what he does. So, of course, round 8 starts off with Fancy once again getting his first pick that round. He decided to get Galvantula, a really powerful Pokemon. Electric Bug typing with Compound Eyes Thunder, which is pretty crazy. I'm going to have to watch out for that with my Rain team because it'll be even more accurate. But also, Bug Buzz, just a great thing to break through subs if you need to. Of course, Sticky Web is the thing that's all coming to mind when you see Galvantula. Probably the best Sticky Web setter in the game, so definitely watch out for that for the Heracrosses Delta Battle League battles. What else does this thing get? Volt Switch, of course. It does get Grass type coverage, Giga Drain, and Energy Ball in case somebody wants to do that. Probably going to run like a Life Orb or Focus Sash depending on what Fancy Cross wants to do with it. If he wants to just like guaranteed get up the Sticky Web, then Focus Sash is probably the way he wants to go, but if he wants more offense, he can go Life Orb as well. Okay. Georgia Jigglypuffs for their round 8 pick decided to go with Cobalion, definitely a powerful Pokemon. Fighting Steel typing is really great. Access to Iron Head and Close Combat Stab, really great things to have. As well as Stealth Rock and Taunt can definitely be a solid lead if you wanted to go that route. Also gets Volt Switch, Flash Cannon if you want to go more specially offensive. I think that's about it, but Cobalion definitely a cool Pokemon, runs like usually leftovers, could run like a Life Orb. Also has access to Swords Dance and Rock Polish, I think. Yeah, Swords Dance and Rock Polish. So definitely a powerful setup Pokemon, definitely something to watch out for. My round 8 pick, the Boston Buizels, was Noivern. I was debating here, I wanted something to abuse Hurricane in the rain, and I was debating between Moltres and Noivern, and I was thinking Moltres would be nice for the fire type stab, but it does have that rock weakness and the fire is weakened in the rain, so I decided to go with something that was more adept without rain, or could still put in a lot of work when the rain wasn't up. So I decided to go Noivern. Could definitely land those powerful hurricanes, as well as drop Draco Meteors that aren't affected by rain, as opposed to Moltres' Fire Blasts. So Noivern, super fast Pokemon. Also access to Taunt and Switcheroo, which are two things that Moltres does not get. Taunt just to stop any Pokemon from setting up hazards or setting up like Swords Dance, and also Switcheroo is really great for those super stally Pokemon. Like switching a Choice Specs or a Choice Scarf onto an opposing Pokemon will be really great, and that's what I'm going to do to Marenoc's Suicune once again. Kansas City Nidokings for their round 8 pick picked Uxie. Similar to Azelf, but I think it's more the defensive route. I'm going to quickly check the Showdown Team Builder. It's similar to Azelf, but it is more defensive. Has 130 defenses, 95 speed, and actually it's debatably a little worse than Azelf in that it doesn't have 3 of its stats that are all good. It has basically 2 good defensive stats and solid speed, and that's about it. So that's why it's lower tier. But Uxie did just go up from NU to RU not too long ago. Definitely a powerful Pokemon, good Psychic type, Stealth Rocks, all kinds of great moves it can get. Stealth Rocks, Thunder Wave, Heal Bell, lots of great support moves as well as Knockoff, Psychic, lots of Drain Grass Knot, obviously. Does it get Fire Blast? No, I don't think so. So it doesn't get all the coverage moves that a Zelf does, but definitely a good pick, especially for a lower tier like RU. So, great pick. Who picked this one? Great pick by Kansas City Nidokings. Chicago Cloysters for their round 8 pick decided to go with Registeel, so we are definitely dipping into RU here a little bit. Registeel, obviously, pretty simple Pokemon, really. Just kind of there. Steel type to take all kinds of hits, super defensive, access to Seismic Toss, and then it does have that Thunder Wave Iron Head combination Paraflinch, which is really annoying, and I hope he never uses it, but he probably will, because it is good, and we're here to win, not to play fair. And technically it is playing fair anyway, so don't listen to me. Registeel is just one of those annoying Pokemon that I hate to face against, so make sure to bring a nice powerful fighting or fire type or ground type or something to deal with this thing when you face off against Chicago Cloysters. Next up, the Rotom Fandom decided to pick Ditto, which is an interesting pick because Ditto is actually PU, I believe, right now. Very low tier, but Ditto definitely, in the right situation, can be really useful. Scarf Ditto is usually the set, I would guess. It's the most useful, or the most roundabout useful Pokemon, or useful item for this thing. So if you're running choice specs or something, then you don't know what exactly you're going to transform into, and if you transform into something that can't really use the choice specs, then it's tough, but everything can use a speed boost, and basically running a choice scarf set on Ditto means you're almost guaranteed to outspeed everything that you transform into, unless of course they're also choice scarf. Ditto's a very cool Pokemon though. I'm interested to see what Rotom Fandom does with it, and it'll be interesting. And Omaha Omastars decided to pick the Pink Blob Blissey. It is definitely not as good as Chansey because it did drop to UU from OU, and it doesn't get access to Eviolite or anything like that. But still, Blissey is a monster. It can take any special hit any time of day. The only way you can break through it is through physical hits. I do remember I was using a Crocodile and just went for a Choice Banded knockoff. It might not even have been Choice Banded, but just a knockoff from Crocodile was able to KO Blissey, so knockoff is a really powerful hit, but definitely need to hit this thing on the physical side. Just don't let this Omaha Omastars team with a Blissey on it whittle you down to just your special attackers, or you will be stalled out. And I believe Omaha Omastars also has Crocodile, so think of a different Pokemon. Golden State Wartortles for their round 8 pick decided to pick Drapion, another powerful RU offensive Pokemon, really cool Pokemon in my opinion. Poison Dark coverage is really great. Stab knockoff is, of course, is really one of the best things to have, as well as Poison type for all those fairies that you don't want to deal with. Cool thing about Drapion is it does get Agility and Swords Dance. You could run Double Dance, but it does get great coverage moves like Earthquake and Aqua Tail. It could even run a defensive set. If you remember early on in the Diggletdreams channel, we did have Donna Drapion, who was our defensive Drapion, which was pretty awesome. It does have its best stat, I believe, is actually physical defense. So let me check this Drapion. A really great Pokemon. 110 physical defense, so that's its best stat. It does also have solid 95 base speed, 90 attack, and 70 HP, 60 special attacks. You know what I'm saying. Does kind of need a Swords Dance to put in offensive power, which is why I kind of thought about a defensive set at first. But it's definitely a powerful Pokemon. I'm really excited to see what the Golden State Wartortles try to do with this thing. It could also run Black Sludge, Choice Band maybe. I have run Choice Scarf before. Did not go well. Honestly, Drapion doesn't really enjoy a choice item. It does like to be able to move up. Switch up its moves. So I think Black Sludge is probably one of the best items for this Pokemon. But we'll see what Golden State Wartortles want to do with it. Could also run Assault Vest. Definitely an option. So round 8 for the Tampa Bay Duskulleers, they decided to go with Cofagrigus, a super defensive ghost type from RU. Mainly physically defensive, but it could be run specially defensive and just kind of rely on its natural defensive bulk. So look at that defense. 145 base defense, 105 special defense, which is really not bad at all, and 95 special attack. So really bulky Pokemon. Definitely something to watch out for. It can also be run offensively as well. It can do a mean Trick Room set, Nasty Plot as well. Something to watch out for. Of course, also a ghost type, so it does get things like Pain Split, Will-O-Wisp, Hex, all those crazy stuff like that. So make sure to watch out for that. Configure is definitely a scary Pokemon. One of those Pokemon that can just wall your team, you know. So definitely watch out for that. Cincinnati Umbreons decided to scoop up a nice OU Pokemon here, Magnezone. Super good Pokemon. Electric Steel typing is really cool with access to Volt Switch and stuff like that. Really nice Pokemon to have. I think every team should have an electric type, and Cincinnati Umbreons decided to grab theirs here. Also great for facing off against other Steel types. Magnet Pull, a great ability that holds Steel types so that they can't switch, basically traps them. And gonna be great against my Scizor, probably, if he packs HP Fire. Would be great against the Empoleon from before, trapping that and hitting it with a Thunderbolt. Yeah, Magnezone really good, high defense stat, high special attack stat. Really scary Pokemon to watch out for. Just try to hit it with an Earthquake, you know. You run Mean Choice Scarf, Choice Specs, even Air Balloon just to dodge those Earthquakes. But really powerful Pokemon, and I'm gonna be thinking a lot about it during my Cincinnati Umbreons battle. Vivipride, for their 8th round pick, decided to pick another powerful OU Pokemon, Dragonite. Really surprised that this Pokemon made it all the way to round 8. But that multi-scale Dragon Dance, like multi-scale weakness policy, like actually just access to multi-scale is what makes Dragonite really good, because it can take a super effective hit, even an Ice type hit, while at full HP, and use that time to set up a Dragon Dance and outspeed and hit them with something else. So really powerful Pokemon. We all know how Dragonite is run, but it can also run things like I've seen like Choice Specs, because it does get lots of cool moves like Thunder, Hurricane, Draco Meteor, Fire Blast, I think. Surf, it does get Surf. Let me check out Dragonite real quick. Yeah, definitely multi-scale. Blizzard. It does get Aqua Jet, which is pretty crazy, but it does get Extreme Speed, which is definitely a much better priority. So it does get Defog. I didn't know it got Defog, but that's definitely something to keep in mind. Something that we probably only see in this kind of league format if like Vivipride really needed a Defogger on their team and they only had Dragonite, they could try to use it. Of course, the physical set, we all know, Extreme Speed, Outrage, coverage move like Fire Punch or Thunder Punch or something. But really powerful Pokemon, and definitely something to watch out for. Definitely something to watch out for. And the final pick of round 8 goes to the St. Louis Swellows, and they decided to pick Hitmontop. Really great pick because it does have access to Intimidate, Rapid Spin, lots of priority, including Bullet Punch, Fake Out, Mach Punch, Sucker Punch. Really the priority master, besides Kecleon. Kecleon's the priority master, but Hitmontop is also really good with priority. Good pick for the St. Louis Swellows. They definitely use a nice defensive Pokemon that can also hit really hard, and that is exactly what Hitmontop does, as well as being a nice rapid spinner. So that is going to be round 7 through round 8 of the Delta Battle League draft. So if you guys are hyped for the Delta Battle League, make sure to hit that like button. There will be more round analysi coming out on the channel, so make sure to look forward to that. And we still got a few more rounds to go, so we're gonna do those. Those should be coming sometime soon. But other than that, guys, look forward to more Delta Battle League content, and we will see you next time. Peace out.